that set against Power Ranger went 3-2, so he's looking pretty hot today, even though he finds himself in the lower bracket.
All right, well, the match is underway. We have Monexo on the Michonne, which is the Koji crossover, so we were correct with the Koji prediction, and Use on the Bodvar, which is two completely different weapons than both bow and lance. But, you know, who knows? If this matchup doesn't really work out that well for Use, we might still see the Vector come out. So here we go. Match is underway, and Monexo is already looking very strong with that
dodge.
Oh!
Use bet it all on that ground pound. Really wanted to catch Monexo off, but didn't keep track of the fact that Monexo had the dodge to get through it. And unfortunately, after Use missed, they were done for.
Yeah, that was just a crazy race to the bottom, and Monexo coming out on top, even though Use won the race to the bottom. Oh no.
Oh, I love that breakdown, TWK. You're always so clever with the quickness and the wittiness. Hopefully Use can find a quick and witty way to bounce back, and that's a nice way to do it with that D-Light recovery right there. But still, Monexo is in a comfortable position. Nice air. Weapon throw does dodge it, and the ground pound does confirm the KO.
Yeah, you saw Monexo going for a jump nair there. I think if they didn't go for the jump input and just did the raw nair, they would have been low enough to not jump into that ground pound. But either way, we're going into the second stocks, damage fairly equal.
Yeah, this one's been kept close neck and neck, which is crazy on a map as volatile as Small Brawlhaven and as crazy with the offstage as these players have been getting.
Yeah, and I'm loving, you know, Monexo really utilizing both weapons here, right? Like, we have seen the bow come out plenty of times already, and the sword come out plenty of times already too. Well, the one thing though from Use that I would like to see just a little bit more, I would love to see Use.
Oh, that hit!
I would love to see Use, you know, stop getting caught slipping, Duke.
I think Use thought he was high enough, right? That side signature, it's a precise arrow, even though it's flaming, but his feet dipped into the fires. He's still going to clean up the stock though, so it looks like it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. I'm glad to see that the opening, game number 1, has been kept neck and neck. Yeah, you get crazy stocks, a crazy finish that you weren't expecting, surprising everybody, us included, and then it's just firing right back, no delay.
Yeah, and no delay at all, but Use. This is what Use needed right there, dude. That was so close. That was so close. I love it. Both players, we talked about it, they're so hungry. They're willing to go all in right here, right now. But Monexo might have just done it with that double ground pound.
Great double ground pound, a huge amount of force on that ground pound, so hitting it early can lead to some big knockouts, and that's exactly what happened there. Got the ground pound, and fortunately it was over the corner, didn't bounce off the stage because it was close to doing so, but able to follow up and get that finisher.
Man, ground pound after ground pound after ground pound. That just seems to be the theme of this set so far. And what is it about bow ground pounds? I feel like they're sneezes. You know, you do one, they always kind of come in sets, right?
Yeah.
If you hit one, you're going to hit another.
It makes other people do it as well, you know?
It's the sneeze and the yawn all rolled into one. Too strong.
Wow. Well, yeah, it looks like we're going to get probably a couple more sneezes and yawns, apparently, because we are seeing somebody who, you know, a lot of players in the community aren't the biggest fan of, and the gotchas coming out. When in doubt, Taro sit out. Here we go. The switch from Use now rotating into game number 2. Monexo still on the Michonne, and Use on the gotch again, which is the Taro's crossover. Now, Duke, if you're Use, you did really good last match. Why are you switching?
Well, clearly wanting to bring out a little bit more force. Of course, on Small Brawlhaven, those are going to KO so quickly. We'll still have that hammer, which worked relatively well in that matchup against Monexo, but this time going to have that axe in hand. Great reaction there. Saw the neutral sig coming out and was able to dodge up in time, but the down sig is going to KO, and that right there, that high strength, that big sweep is why he was wanting the Gruagok.
Yeah, that is something that we saw in an earlier set today. Of that down signature, you hit the top of the dome, it's going to send them straight up with a ton of force. On a map like Small Brawlhaven, that's early stocks. That's a full stock lead for Use here in game 2.
Dude, Use is popping off. Now with over a stock lead thus far, we are just seeing Use's confidence come out from the light attacks and then picking it up with the side stick in the early stock. We might be getting a 3 stock here, Duke.
A great swap from Use, putting out so much damage, getting so many stocks with the Gruagok. Monexo not sure how to respond to this. Of course, adept at fighting the walkers, but is Gruagok the same?
No, this is a whole other monster. You know, zombies, they've got their own weaknesses, but how do you beat a Minotaur? What's the lore on that one?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the lore might be, but apparently it is not a bow or a sword, but a flaming arrow from a bow could be enough to at least get one stock. But this is still a massive mountain for Monexo to climb, as Yuz has seemed to found the weak spot in Monexo's game, and that Stomp Sair is going to wrap it up for game number 2.
Clean finish for Yuz. I'm expecting at the very least a map swap to come out for the next one because, I mean, small Brawlhaven, you get KOs so incredibly quick. Sure, Yuz was able to put out some great damage with some solid strings, but if you had a wider map, something like a Demon Island, those aren't going to KO as easily.
Yeah, and I mean, that was the big thing, right? Landing 2 signatures at just the right damage. 474 damage dealt. That's insanely efficient knockouts. I mean, it's 150 to get to red. So 3 stocks, you're looking at 450. He was right on pace for that every time.
Yeah, and that's actually that's the record for the day. 337 damage advantage that we're seeing right there. Quick math, Duke. That was for you.
The math lead himself, economics major, just keeping the calculator in the head. But we're going to game number 3, and of course, Monexo's going to make that swap over to the Bryn for game number 3. And this is what I'm talking about as far as map picks go. Go to something a little bit wider, something where you're going to be able to survive a little bit longer against this high strength.
I'm going to put a quick asterisk on this one, though, because yes, you get a ton more ground space, but watch those corners. These are very small walls.
Look at that.
Oh, yo.
You're right.
Knock
if that
him
was
off,
on
the
small
sweat drops.
Yep.
Calculation, not enough around the corner, but gets the 3-piece.
Wow, yeah, just like you were saying, Duke, if that was on small Brawlhaven, that would have been the stock. But Yuz apparently doesn't even care what map it is. Yuz will get it done just with the hooves on the character right there. And Yuz with another substantial lead and not letting go of any of the steam. TWK, do you know what I mean?
I know absolutely. Do you understand the Gok? To know the Gok is to understand the gravity cancel neutral signature. That's what I'm looking for around these corners. On the hammer, it's going to be the reversal grab. On the axe, it's going to be the up and down massive spike. Yuz has been using those signatures to phenomenal effect, and I'm expecting that to continue.
The big thing I'm interested in is this axe of Yuz. I'm so curious why he started off with the Bode Bar, because his axe is looking so good. It's been the predominant damage builder for Yuz throughout the last 2 games. But Monexo finally finishes up that first stock with the spear recovery. Great placement, going high with it, because you can either go high with the recovery or forward with the side air.
Yeah, even before that, the downlight that set up into it was a massive call out. They were both grounded. If they're just running at each other, that thing's not going to hit. He called out Yuz's jump.
Yeah, Yuz just looking, very confident still, though, but Monexo having a much better match than what we saw in that previous one, and it definitely seems to be coming from Monexo's axe gameplay. Definitely able to rotate a lot more with the splendid, oh my goodness, calculated axe plays that were coming out, but, oh my gosh, Yuz just responding with a nice D-sig, still not enough to get the KO, but the Sair just might be. Weapon throw confirms. Wow, I think Yuz is looking unstoppable here.
Yeah, Yuz is looking really good, like a bull in a Bryn shop right now. Yuz is putting out so much damage on top of Monexo, as well as getting those KOs. Again, very efficient with his KO tools.
Yeah, just every time that he gets Monexo right in that knockout range, you better believe that powerful strike is coming to find him. Now, the question is, how much extra credit can Yuz get to go up in a lead over Monexo?
Yeah, and we're definitely noticing a lot now that Monexo is doing a lot of back dashes to then try to rotate into more of these side lights or these D-lights, but Yuz, it's pretty hard to dodge a signature when it's coming out of that bullpen, and Yuz confirms that stock with a signature straight from Demon Island.
That was crazy, because, yeah, the placement of it, the little bit of a jump into the gravity cancel, he let that spot dodge rock just enough to let the weapon soar past, and it was immediate response with that gravity cancel side signature.
That was so good. Again, to do those gravity cancels, you're seeing it right there. To do it, you have to use the spot dodge, but you still have a little bit of leeway on when you want to throw out the gravity cancel, and Yuz used it to perfection. Spot dodging through that weapon toss, and then going in with the side signature, reaching far, hitting hard. Yuz is up over Monexo.
And look at that signature count. You saw it right there. 7 signatures were used by Yuz with a 71% hit percentage. I mean, that's unheard of. That is absolutely unheard of, and Yuz seems to have found what works best for them, but I do love Monexo rotating into the Asuri now, but TWK, kind of dive into the mind of Monexo. You've been getting dominated by this Axe gameplay. Why choose a legend like Asuri with Katars and Sword?
You need something a little bit quicker that you can fire back with because, listen, those attacks, yeah, they're incredibly strong, but they are slow. If you can kind of sneak in, keep the pace up, you're able to interrupt that, get your hits in before theirs, and especially the quicker that you can punish those signatures, the more reward you're going to get off it.
Yeah, those stacked options as well coming out from both of these kits will beat out a lot of the things that the Grugok's going to try to do. Trying to play this edge guard, those weapon toss still hitting great position to get it right over the corner, but Monexo comes up, was ready for it that time.
Oh man, you're definitely seeing a lot more, you know, comfortability here coming out from Monexo. Definitely not as afraid to dive in, because with that speed from Asuri, right, there gives you a lot more opportunity to hit a counter. Ooh, I like the down heavy right there. Monexo, oh yeah, Monexo's like, no, not going to the edge there. I'm not trying to get my toes taken from me. What a nice, though, D-Light recovery, though. TWK, Monexo looks like they leveled up a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, the stage pick absolutely helping out. This is a very stable map and a stable weapon with the sword. You get those downlight into recovery confirms for the knockout. You get the setups with the Katars. I mean, it is just absolute turnaround here for Monexo.
Yeah, Monexo playing so incredibly well here in game number 4. Again, on the lower side. So if Yuz wins this one, Monexo is out of the tournament, going home with that top 8 finish. But right now, Yuz trying to play that neutral game. You see the dash dancing coming out, trying to bait an action for Monexo, but it's going to be the sidelight delayed Sair to even up the stock count.
Yeah, and that was so smart. Like, I love how you said delayed, Duke, because that's what made that play so intelligent. Yuz knew to go immediately after that sidelight to pause and then go into the Sair because they knew that Monexo was going to go for the immediate dodge, right? So Yuz is still here, able to absolutely capitalize on every situation and build up so much damage, and just like that, TWK, Yuz is right back in the driver's seat.
I know, he's got Monexo in that knockout range, he's got the stage advantage, he's looking for those giant swipes that are gonna score the knockout. The side air, not yet enough to do it. Monexo gets right under, but not under the haymaker side air, and that's gonna be it. 2-1 for the stock advantage for Yuz.
Yuz is marching his way into the top 6 of the tournament. He's got the hammer in hand now. He's going to try to start chunking. Sidelight doesn't read the dodge down this time, so he wasn't able to follow up with that second sidelight. But still, any damage he builds here, it's all extra credit.
Yeah, and we all know that Yuz must be an A++ student because the extra credit continues to come out. Yuz refuses to lose, and this is Monexo's tournament life. BCX dreams on the line. Top 8 elimination. Are you seeing this right now? Yuz does not
stumped recovery. They actually just threw it at each other and smacked each other in the face.
Yuz got launched a little bit higher on that one, and unfortunately now is disarmed on the corner. Monexo trying to cover the corner, but that soft platform helping Yuz out. Lots of places that Monexo had to cover in the side sig. One more hit. He's gonna get up the neutral line.
Did he touch? He didn't touch. He didn't touch. Yo, Yuz with the 3-1 closeout. Monexo, that started off that game so strong. The legend pick was working out. The map pick was working out. But Yuz just could not be denied.
Yeah, Yuz just... The moment that Yuz made that switch over into the gotch over here, right? I mean, it was night and day compared to what we saw in that first match. I mean, just look at these replays. Look at Yuz's health and still going all in off the stage. And there you go. Once again, the damage advantage says it all. You're looking at approximately, right, like 148 in that aspect, I believe, Duke. And, you know, Yuz is... I'm thinking Yuz might be the sleeper of the tournament now.
Well, he's definitely got a great opportunity here. He's going to be going in...